Do your Part 1 answers sound really short and really robotic? Answers like, I wake up at 7 o'clock and I go to school. Then you're probably limiting yourself to a band 6. But there are methods to help you develop those answers and boost your score to a band 7+. And today we're going to talk about those. If you don't know, I'm Kevin, a former IELTS examiner. And today I'm going to teach you a method to answer your Part 1 questions to sound more confident, more fluent, and more natural. It's called the 3S method. Let's get started. Now, if you've watched my videos before, you know I've talked about the 3S method. 3 S's stands for state, support, and share. You want to state your answer clearly. You want to support your answer with a sentence or two giving more detail, expanding on what you're talking about. And the third S is you want to share an example, a story, a feeling, something personal as to you. Remember, your examiners are listening to a lot of IELTS students coming in. And I can tell you, as an examiner, most students give very similar answers. So when I hear someone give an answer that naturally expands, that sounds very natural, that sounds very relaxed, that is talking about themselves personally, it immediately makes me think, wow, this is a higher level student. Today I'm going to expand a little bit on the 3S by saying 3S plus 1. And that plus 1 is about natural speech. You want to add emotion. You want to add intonation. You want to relax and speak to your examiner like you would speak to a friend or colleague. Now, I know it's hard. This is a test, right? And you must take it seriously. But if you can remember to breathe and relax, to speak naturally, it will help your answers develop and it will help your score. I promise you. A common topic in Part 1 is daily routines. So let's look at some Part 1 daily routine questions. For example, the question, what do you usually do in the morning? Let's put an answer on the screen and you can see how this breaks down using the 3S plus 1 model. I usually start my mornings with a cup of coffee. It helps me feel focused and mentally prepared for the day. For example, this morning I made a Vietnamese drip coffee and reviewed my planner while I sat in my room. It's honestly my favorite moment of the day. It's calm and quiet. This response is great and high level. It shows a personal touch. It shows me a window into your life, into how you personally feel. It's not overly long and it's not too short. And if you go back and look at it again, it's not full of high-level academic language. Still, it's a really good Part 1 response. Let's go to the next question. Do you enjoy your daily routine? Yes, I actually do. Having a set routine helps me feel productive. For example, I work out around 5 p.m. every day, and after that, I feel refreshed and motivated. It gives me structure, which I really need. Again, even without me labeling it, you can see where the 3 S's are here. I stated my answer. I supported my answer. I shared an example from my life and then it gave you a little bit of a window into my feelings and emotions around it. Another great response. Our last Part 1 question. Is your routine the same on every day? Our response? Not exactly. On weekdays, I have a strict schedule because of work, but on weekends, I sleep in, relax, and sometimes go for brunch with friends. On Sundays, I don't get up until after 10. Another 3S plus 1. And remember, just because you're giving examples does not mean you have to say, for example, every time. In fact, that's something a little lower level student might do. We don't do that. You can give examples without leading into it with those words, and I'll understand what you're saying completely. Now it's your turn to practice. In the description of this video, I'm going to list some Part 1 questions, and I want you to answer them using the 3S+1 method that I just shared with you. Also, I want you to record yourself answering these questions. Go back and listen. Are you clearly stating your answer? Are you supporting that answer with details, with more language? Are you sharing an example? And are you speaking naturally? Don't be afraid to be critical. Grade yourself the way you think an IELTS examiner would grade you. And then practice. Answer the questions 1, 2, or 3 times and listen to your responses when you're done and see how you do. If you have any questions about your structure or your response or words to use, leave your answers in the comments below and I will be happy to share my thoughts. Remember, you do not need lots of fancy vocabulary on the IELTS test to get a good score. You need clarity, you need structure, and you need your real voice. You are a real person taking that test, and don't be afraid to share it with the examiner. We love it, and it's something that only high-level students do. If you do that, you're on your way to getting a Band 7+. If you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And until next time, happy studies.